in or we're getting ready for the pre-check-in, if we want to make sure the doors are locked down, I do this with a key. So all they got to do is push the door down, and there's a little slot underneath here. You just push it up and turn it. If they're using these doors, you would dog these doors down. Then one thing you want to do is you're going to be walking through the building and making sure that everything's set up. You look all over, make sure all your lights are working. Make sure there's no dust bunnies or nothing on the carpet like that. Okay, guys, when you check the bathrooms, what you want to do, make sure you always wear gloves. That way, if you pick something off the floor or something like that, you're not going to get any germs. And during the event, we're not going to actually clean the bathroom unless there's a problem. What we're going to do, what we're looking for is make sure the garbage can's not too full. Any paper on the floor, we're going to pick it up. Any of this paper that's up on here, we're going to pick it up. We're looking basically to make sure this is acceptable. We know the event's already started happening, but we're just making sure that it's clean. All the paper products, the soap and everything is supplied in stock. So if they walk in here, they can use the bathroom. If you find something that's on the sink or something, wipe it off. Anything on the floor, pick it up. As far as the toilet goes, if there's a problem, get gloves on and clean it. If there's not and it's acceptable, then you can leave it. Make sure that all the doors are locked that they're not using so that no one can go in the rooms they're not supposed to be using. You'll want to look and make sure there's no debris or nothing in the hallways, all clean, ready to go. This is the kitchen area here, and on the kitchen area is one of the most important places. You got to make sure that things are clean in here, and it should be all ready to go. You should have everything. You should have paper towels. You should have soap up in there for them. One thing you want to make sure is in this drawer here that there are plenty of these black bags so that they don't got to come get you to empty the trash or nothing in the kitchen. When they're ready, they got a can, so this should be full. If they're not full and there's no more bags in here, you get them from the janitorial closet down the hall there. There should be mop water over in the corner here. One of the things you got to make sure that you do is you want to make sure that there is soap water from the mopping of the floor in the kitchen. So it's basically easy. You just come in here and go to Virex is the one you want. And you got this little tool here. You start filling up your mop bucket. You want to fill it about 3/4 of the way full. Anytime that we use a garbage or empty garbage, what you want to do is you want to get one of these rolling ones. So what you do is you just grab this out of here. You want to tie the top of it, you put it right in there. You want to put in, always make sure there's an extra bag in case you come through here and you have to do this in an emergency. Go grab it, you always have it. Tie that on there so it's tight so it doesn't fall inside of there and pull it back out. So again, you just come up to your garbage can, tie it off, throw it in there. Your very first thing is customer service. You want to make the customer happy. So if you see anything on the walls or something like that, just tell them that they're not supposed to do it. It's your job. And tell them that they're not supposed to move the furniture or anything like that. So if you have any problems with anything during the event, you'll have a list of phone numbers that you go over. Call Jim, call this person. You'll have different points of contact.
After the event's over, you've checked them out, then first thing you want to do is make sure, come over here and do the opposite of what you did when you checked in. You dog the doors down, now you want to dog them back up and lock up the front. There's two reasons for that. One, you want to do it right after they leave so you don't forget. Two, most of the time these events are going to end late at night. It's for your own safety. Go ahead and make sure all the doors are locked before you do anything else. Bring the pins down, close the door, and then give it a push. Make sure that those pins set. After one event leaves, if there's another event that starts before us on the maintenance crew come in and clean the building, the monitors at the end of the night are responsible for getting this thing show ready. Not perfect, but show ready for the next day. Like on this, I mean, we have gumdrops underneath the furniture. There's debris, things on here. You'll come back later after you do your initial walkthrough and give everything a wipe down. You never want to move more than 2 tables at a time. Then they are always pushed lengthwise. We have some tables that have nice, perfectly round divots in them. What happens is when you're pushing them this way, they fall over. So for example, on these 12-foot tables, 2 hands to steer them. A lot of our door frames, the older ones, not the newer ones, but the older ones, have lots of scrape marks along the top of the door frame. The classrooms, the garden room and room 106, the ones that have laminate floors on them, they create even a bigger challenge because there's a height change between the 2 floors. You actually need to bring these to the doorway, stop, put your foot here, give them a little tilt. Tilt them up over, and then go ahead and push them through the doorway. Restrooms, after the event, if you're in here and there's another event prior to maintenance coming in again, these are what the responsibilities are for the restrooms. You want to make sure you glove up. You want to glove up before you do anything. You're not going to do a full clean, but you're going to make it presentable for the next event. Renters, when they come in, they basically don't want to see any sign of the previous rental when they come in. They want a clean, fresh building when they come in. Virex, all you have to do is dampen the rag. And the point is you want to come in and you want to wipe enough to eliminate all the water stains, any soap, anything like that. You want to polish the chrome, polish the fixtures, make it appear that there was nothing ever here. Same thing with the glass. Come in, spray your cloth, wipe down all the mirrors, get rid of any water spots, make it look presentable. Toilets, everything in here. Also, make sure that you either pull the bag or dump the trash in the restrooms. There again, renter doesn't want to come in and see a lot of trash, a lot of things from a previous rental. The expectation is you've got your damp rag, you're wiping the surface of the seat, wipe underneath the seat, and wipe the rim. When you're completed, we have a chemical that we call toilet blue. It's called Crew Restroom Cleaner. Come in, you can give it a squirt in there, turn the water blue, and it creates a really nice effect. When everything's wiped down, everything's completed, you take your mop water, and the key to this, rinse and press out as much water as you can. You want to have this thing as dry as you can possibly get it. Eliminate any debris, anything that's on the floor, mop that up, and any wet areas, things like that, footprints, any kind of visual mark on the floors. And continuing on with the theme, making everything as presentable as possible for the next event. We use glass cleaner for just about everything. If it's a hard surface, it evaporates quickly, it doesn't leave streaks. So most of your hard surfaces, we use glass cleaner. You want to come through after the event, just give these drinking fountains up here in the lobby, give them a quick wipe down, eliminate water spots. As we continue on, you want to keep an eye on the carpet, keep an eye on the hallways. If you see anything, any kind of debris, any paper, any kind of debris at all, pick it up, throw it in the trash as you walk by, and slowly work your way around the hallways towards the kitchen. Anything that isn't done by the renter or by the caterer, we have to take care of after the event. So the more you can have them do, the less that you have to do on the back end. So you're going to go through, you're going to inspect all the countertops, make sure that they've been wiped down. Sinks have been wiped down. Floor has been swept and mopped. Trash is pulled and been replaced with a new liner. Just like we're responsible for providing the mop water, we're actually responsible for disposing of it as well. So you walk down the hallway, when you get to the maintenance closet, you want to go through, rinse the mop head out as best as you can. So swish it around in there, rinse it out the best you can. You want to wring it out, get this thing as dry as you can. Once you've done that, set it aside. Now you're going to dump the water into the floor sink. You dump about 3/4 of it, stop, Get the debris off the bottom of the bucket, and then finish dropping it. At this point, this needs to be returned to the kitchen. You want to drape the mop over the wringer, tearing down tables, go through, you pull your linens off and everything else, then you're required to wipe down the tables. Usually, that's gonna require spraying the entire table. The beauty of the glass cleaner is it evaporates quickly. So even if you don't get it wiped completely dry, it'll evaporate within a couple of minutes. Other cleaners, if you leave it on there, it leaves a sticky residue. It takes forever to dry. So you just wipe back and forth. You're feeling for any sticky spots, anything like that as you go through, and you work everything down to the floor. Fold your tables and move them the way that we instructed previously. Then you're gonna run a dust mop over the entire floor. One, it eliminates any large debris. Two, if there's a sticky spot on the floor, as you run the dust mop over it, it's gonna darken and turn into a gray or a black spot on the floor. So you work back and forth, doing the entire room. Once you have the entire floor dust mop, it's gonna show you exactly the areas that you need to hit with a damp mop. The key to this is, again, you want to have this mop rinsed out. All you're going to do is you're going to slowly work just that spot. Do not go through and wipe and mop huge areas. All you have to do is move, hit one spot. Go through, move, hit one spot. Go through, hit another spot. Carpeted areas, what we need to go in through. Once you have everything tore down, you have the chairs stacked, you have the tables removed, then we go through and we start working on the carpet. First thing you want to go through, any larger pieces like this, paper, plastic forks, anything that's too large for a vacuum to pick up, you want to go through and pick up by hand. You want to go through and you're just going to hit the visual areas. Any visual food, things like this, anything that you can actually see on the floor, you're going to give it a quick vacuum. If there's not an event and you've broken it down, then the new expectation is that the building is going to be staged. What that means is from the dance floor out, probably roughly 10 or 12 feet, this area isn't spot vac. This area has to be fully vacuumed. Outside of that horseshoe, if there's not an event and it's staged, the maintenance staff will come in and they will full vacuum the rest of the room. This is Jerry Kennedy. He's a senior building maintenance worker for the facilities department. My name's Dale Rapley. I'm the building maintenance supervisor for the evening shift. I manage the cleaning crew that works nights and work with the facility monitors in the evenings to handle events.